Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unlock Your Fundraising Potential Live Masterclass. All three of us, myself, Crystal Petrie, Constable Chris Bates, and Shanna Briggs, we are all here to help you fundraise for your organization, for your nonprofit. We are going to discuss some great tools and tips for fundraising, but we're also going to talk about some things that maybe we did that didn't work so that you do not have to handle that same situation. So let my guests introduce themselves. Shanna Briggs, please go.
Hi, my name is Shanna Briggs, and I am the regional director of the Alzheimer's Association for Beaumont and Southeast Texas. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you. Mr. Chris Bates, you're up.
Yes, hello everyone. It's a great opportunity to be here on today. Again, my name is Chris Bates, and I am the elected constable of Jefferson County, Precinct 2 here, mainly in the Port Arthur area. I also serve as the vice president of Linda's Lighthouse nonprofit organization, and we do a lot of different things in our community, as far as our scholarship program, junior deputy camp. And also, we do a huge back to school drive focusing on making sure that young people have school supplies to go back to school and promoting wellness checks. And so we just try to do our part in the community and help out where we can.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bates, and thank you, Ms. Briggs, so much for joining me. We are live on YouTube. We are also live on LinkedIn. So as you guys are watching, as you are listening and learning, if you have questions, if you have comments, please put that in the comment box below, and we will answer that towards the end of our live presentation. Also, I will give you information on how you can donate to either one of these or both of these wonderful, wonderful organizations to help them in the community. And as one of the things Mr. Bates states is they do scholarships. So to help our youth as well advance in their educational journey. So my first question for both of you, and you could just hop in, whoever wants to go first. What is fundraising, and why is it important for nonprofit organizations to do this?
The ladies first.
Well, I mean, for a nonprofit, fundraising is everything. That's how we can continue to do what we're doing. And for myself, we are fundraising to help in Alzheimer's. And the only way that we can do that is bring awareness to our community and have research to find treatments. And we can only do that with the fundraising efforts.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important for nonprofits to have the fundraising capabilities, and it's just not a one-time thing. It's continuous throughout the year, because these nonprofits have great causes and great needs in the community, and so we try to meet those needs. And so, making sure that we have the funds to continue providing those services is so important. So that's why fundraising is probably the number one deal in our organizations to make sure that we can continue providing the service that is very much needed in the community.
Chris, I think you touched on something really important about fundraising. You said that it's year round. A lot of people think that, you have a start date and an end date when it comes to fundraising. But as we all know, that is not the case. So can you expand on that just a little bit more?
Absolutely. So it is definitely a year-round deal. And so we make the way we do it in our organization, we present it in different ways. So and we try to target different groups of individuals throughout our different programs. So we make sure that we're really strategic as far as how we fundraise, because we don't want to always just ask the same people and tap out our resources. So it's important that we have different categories, different subgroups of individuals, companies that will support the different endeavors that we have, that will again help the community. So it's a year-round effort, And so, again, we split that up so we don't seem like we're begging all the time, because that can come, it sometimes can be annoying. So I always want to make sure that we are on the forefront of fundraising, and again, making sure that we're receiving the financial need that we need year round to provide the service.
And Shanna, just to piggyback on what Chris stated, I know that with the Alzheimer's Association, you guys do like a walk at different parts of the time during the year. But just like he said, it is all year round, not
It's
just during the times of the walk.
absolutely, it's year round. So our website goes live in January. Our walk is in October, but it doesn't stop then. So we accept donations for our walk through the end of the year. And that's, to help us if we don't meet our goal by our walk date in October, we have some extra time to try to do some a little bit more fundraising, what we call our gap to goal through the end of the year. And I can say, like what Chris is saying, like you don't want people to run from you when they see you approaching them because you're always asking for money. So that's what it's true. We do have to tap into different groups and new organizations and new people, that are, you know, the cause is dear to them. So
How do you do that? Because I feel like, and having fundraised myself, that is kind of a like a fear that kind of builds up in you that, oh my God, I'm always asking Shanna for money. I'm always asking Chris for money. So how do you, number one, get past kind of that fear that grows up into you? And how do you maybe seek out new people to ask for money?
I think you'd have to have like a passion for the cause. I mean, for me personally, I lost my mother 11 years ago to a rare form of dementia. She was only 56 when she was diagnosed and 63 when she passed away. And so I was, with my father, one of her caregivers. So I know firsthand what it's like to take care of a parent. And I was in that what they call sandwich parenting, where I was taking care of little ones and then to helping to take care of my parent. So that is why I do what I do, is so I can help others navigate their situations, what they're going through, and hopefully to help them find resources that we provide. But like it is, I mean, more and more people are diagnosed with this dreadful disease, and so therefore there's more people that are going to back the cause and help you. So, and then like it is, you're just seeking out, more companies that maybe that want to give. Hope maybe they have a connection to the cause as well.
Yeah, that's one of the big things also with getting new individuals is a very important part is educating. You have to continually educate individuals on what you do and the services that you provide. And so sometimes we do get tunnel vision and like, well, everyone should know what we do, but there are individuals that don't. And so you have to have an educational piece on top of the fundraising to let people know because they may be passionate about something or one individual event within your organization that they're passionate about. And so I get like I said, we have a few events throughout the year, and each person I see that they're basically passionate about certain events, and so this is their one event that they donate to, and so I know I can always call on them, but making sure that you continue getting new business companies and individuals, you have to continue to educate on your mission and your state.
Okay, this is going to be a two-part question. Chris, we'll start with you first. Can you tell us one or two things that you have done that has worked very well for you as far as fundraising?
So one of the things that has um, helped me in fundraising actually starts before the actual fundraising begins. And I think this is something that we had talked about is having relationships. Um, it's so important to go out and support other individuals that have different organizations, different events. And so you'll be surprised the amount of people that you run into that you may know that you don't know, and you can let them know what's going on about an organization. And so once you do that and you start supporting those organizations, then that for me is the number one key to the fundraising success that I've had is that um, supporting others and then turn around and those people support fundraising efforts that I have. So it's so important to have that combo um, once you begin to start even beforehand. You want to start doing some fundraising for an event or just a campaign.
Okay, and Shanna, what would you say one or two things that you have done that has worked well for you with fundraising?
Yeah, I agree with Chris that it is a lot of the personal connections that you have in the community that you know that you can text them, call them, and they will, get back to you with the donation. Also, I have a committee that works with me. They're volunteers, and a lot of them, of course, have a connection to our cause, and they help me every year. So it's almost like a little team of army that goes out there for you and with you, supporting the cause. So I think that really helps to have some people that are backing you up.
Let's talk a little bit more about that. Having volunteers, having a committee to help with the fundraising and also help with the organization. Talk to us about the importance of having that support system, if you will, with your volunteers.
Yeah, I mean, they feel empowered if they're given an opportunity to give back. I think that's what a lot of people drives people to be volunteers. They want to give back. They want to help others. So I feel like we're all giving them opportunities to do that. And we can't do it all of ourselves. So we rely a lot on our volunteers to help us out, and we're so appreciative of them.
And
Absolutely.
Chris, what about you? Do you guys, I know you're VP of Linda's Lighthouse. How does the committee and the volunteers help your organization?
Yeah, so having volunteers is so important. It's a key part of any nonprofit or any organization as well. And so having those individuals equipped with the, I would say the elevator speech that they need to go out and promote what you're doing is important as well. So everyone can be on the same page. Everyone can be promoting the fundraising efforts. And so again, you can't do it by yourself. And so it's so important to have those individuals, have that team, again, empower them, like it was stated, and then again, work as a team. And so that's the most important thing that we also do is knowing that you can't do it by yourself. And also the more people that you have reaching out and reaching the individuals, the better chance you will have for fundraising and raising the money and meeting that goal that you have.
Mhm.
My next question is, what have you done? And we'll start with you, Shannon, on this one. What have you done for fundraising that did not work out well?
Um, Maybe not seeking more help. Sometimes you do think you can do it all, and you're like, oh, that's fine. I'll just do it. I can do it myself. I know a better way to do it, but in reality, it's better to have more hands on deck. So I can't say a dollar amount that equals to my losses or anything like that, but mentally, I think it's better to have more people to help you.
Okay, and Chris, what are one or two things that you did that did not work or did not help with your fundraising efforts?
Yeah, so I've always had great relationships with people, and so making sure. Um, so I had the contacts. One of the two things was really actually tapping into those contacts and asking people for their help as far as fundraising. And so, you even though if you know a lot of people, if you don't ask that person, that, they're just some people just not gonna give this freely, and so you have to ask them. So when I started just giving people what we were doing, whatever, then the fundraising, the finances started coming in a little bit better because I just simply asked the question, and so that was one of the things that really helped out. And then also making sure that we had good branding and marketing um, as far as the flyers. You just can't put out a 8 by 11 piece of paper flyer and think that people are going to be intrigued by it. You have to have some good flyers out that's going to catch the eye. So we early on we made sure that we worked on it a little bit better so we had some good flyers, something that's really going to catch the people's eyes so they can just stop and read for a second and say and have that thought process for them. So this may be an organization that I really miss.
And my next question, but before I get to that, everyone that's watching, whether you're watching live or you're going to come back and watch later, you have the opportunity to donate to either one of these or both of these worthy causes. I have the information at the bottom. It's scrolling if you want to donate to Linda's Lighthouse or the Alzheimer's Association. Please do that. You do not have to be in Southeast Texas to donate. You do not have to be in Beaumont or Port Arthur to make a difference and to help out here. Now, my next question brought on something with what Chris said, the ask, which I feel like maybe is one of the hardest parts about fundraising. How do you make the ask? Do you have a script? Do you vibe off what the other person is saying or feeling? Walk us through the asking for money.
For our walk, we first, like, we kind of have a step-by-step process. Like, first we want you to register for the walk, and there's no fee to register for the walk. But then once you register, if you fundraise $100, then you're going to get a t-shirt mailed to you for walk day. And then if you register, if you fundraise up to $500, you're going to become a champion walker and receive an incentive prizes. And then there's incentive prizes all the way up. So it's kind of like giving them a little bit of recognition, and then also something to look forward to. And I usually highlight all of these champions on our social media as well. And that's totally different from our sponsorships. Our sponsorships, are usually companies that we approach and try to have a one-on-one meeting with them and just kind of explain to them what we're doing in the community and how they can partner up with us. And then we do the ask for that.
Okay, and Chris, what is your ask? How do you, I guess, build up the nerves or the courage to ask for fundraising dollars?
Yeah, so naturally, so people won't believe me, but naturally, I'm a shy person. Okay, and
Okay.
it's something that I had to build up just for myself over the years, just to have that confidence to engage a person and have a conversation with them about anything. And so now, since I've got my wings, so to speak, I don't mind asking at all. Again, it goes back to relationships. And I hear people say all the time, "My closed mouth don't get fed," and so I don't mind asking because I know the relationship that I have with individuals, and I know the support that I give them, and vice versa. And so um, I'm going to reach out. I'm going to ask those individuals each time. But it's just so important to show people also before and after um, highlighting what you've done with the money that they people want to give. And a lot of people want to see how their money is help supporting a cause. And so you have to beforehand and then in the follow-up show individuals that, hey, this is what your money is done in these fundraising efforts. And so I'm always taking photos. I'm always posting stuff on social media. all outlets because people want to see their support, and how did it help someone else.
How has social media benefited and impact your fundraising efforts?
I think it's changed everything. We're able to, reach out to, a vast group of people across the community, outside of our community. And then also, it's helped us to learn more from other people. We're able to, tag people on our posts, like giving little shout outs, thank yous, also, if we have an event coming up, we're able to create an event on Facebook or on LinkedIn and invite people. And I think people rely on that as kind of like their news, and they might, get, and then of course it's going to send them reminders to come. And then of course, if you attend an event and you take pictures and post it afterwards, they want to see themselves there. So they want to be a part of what's going on in the community. So I think it's very helpful for us.
Same thing. It's social media is really good. And there's so many different tricks to social media on each different platform. And so there's ways. I have a Facebook, I have an Instagram, I have a Twitter, I have a LinkedIn, I have a Snapchat. I'm catching everybody. So
I don't have that much time, but I'm so I haven't tapped into all of those. My kids have, though.
I try to get everybody because everyone is on different levels, and so it's so important just to have that social media aspect of it, but then also knowing how to utilize social media, because it's more than just making a post and hoping that you get the best. You have to be engaging in what you do. And you have to, again, tag individuals, comment back, things of that nature. And so we try to be really engaging during our fundraising efforts to make sure that people are seeing it. The algorithms on all these different platforms are really, really tricky. And so words are triggers. And so there's a lot of different things that you can read up on that will help you optimize your social media fundraising.
My next question, Chris, we'll start with you. How do you, and of course, fundraising is year round, which we've established at the beginning of this masterclass. How do you determine, and I don't know if that's you specifically as the vice president or if it's a committee of people. This will be the same question for you as well, Shanna. How do you determine your fundraising goals and objectives for the year?
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought this question back up because Shannon mentioned it about a goal. And so it's important that you have a goal set forward. Again, because it costs to run an organization, a nonprofit, and also to make sure that you provide those services. And so you have to look at, years past of servicing individuals and the needs of the organization. And then also at the events, I know Shannon would say the same thing, tracking the information and data, having people sign in and making sure that you get good contact so that you can track how many people that you've been serving. And so you have to keep that data and have it collected so that the goal, the money that you need, and what you're trying to reach. And how vigorous you need to be, like she stated about having maybe being a gap towards the end. Well, you have that goal set on data that you collected over the past year or two or whatnot. And so it's important just to have that information that will help support right here, now, and then long term. So short term and long term goals are so important when fundraising is concerned.
Yeah, I agree. Of course, I'm a part of a nationwide organization, and they pretty much set the goals for us, and we follow up with like just different benchmarks every month that we need to track and keep up with. So usually our goals are 50, about 15% higher from our previous year's goal, and then we kind of go forth with our benchmarks based upon a previous year, and then what we're doing today, how we can adjust what we're doing from month to month. Say we need, so many walkers, so many registered teams, so many champions, so it's almost like you've got this little ticker going every month and every week that we kind of keep track of to kind of keep us on track, without losing our, our goal is really for the cause. We can get caught up in the numbers and everything, but we really need to think about the individuals in our community and how we're impacting them.
Absolutely. That's a great point, Shanna, that so many times when people are fundraising, it's all about the dollar, the dollar, the dollar, but you forget why you're fundraising or who you are fundraising for. So that's a great point. As we are getting ready to wrap up, I have two more questions for you, Chris, and for you, Shanna. What happens, or if this has happened, what happens if you don't meet your fundraising goal?
So, it could happen. It has happened. And so again, um, sometimes you have to get out there. Again, I was going to say this: fundraising, first off, it's not easy. It's not an easy job. It's just not at a snap of the finger that's going to happen. It takes work and dedication and hard work. And so, if you're looking like you're coming up short, that's why what Shannon said, those benchmarks can help you, see how hard you need to. Maybe you need to send out more email blasts or reach out to more individuals or go back through the Rolodex, as I say, and see who you hadn't tapped into. Um, um, and so it's important that you have that. In some unfortunate situations, if the goal is not met, then that means that some services would not be provided. So sometimes you have to go back with that message and say, hey, we came up short here, and we're not going to be able to support this amount of people like we did in the previous years. And so I'm asking that you come back on and maybe give a little bit more, things of that nature. So just have to be prepared for anything.
And I think we just need to remember it's a goal. I mean, sometimes you can't meet it. I mean, there was COVID one year where we had to adjust all of our goals, and we can't beat ourselves up about that, but we can try our best and kind of pivot and see where we can get creative and finish out the year on top. But they are just goals, and we can work with them.
And my final question for you as we're wrapping up. So, again, this has been a live masterclass about unlocking fundraising potential. And I know this question is a broad question, but answer it to the best of your ability. If there is one thing, one takeaway you would like to leave with the viewers and leave with the people that are listening about fundraising and how to unlock your fundraising potential, what would that be? And we'll start with you, Shanna.
I would say every day by the end of the day, you need to have a win. That might be you got a good sponsorship. It might be that you talk to, 3 people in the community that you've never met before that can maybe lead to a potential, fundraiser. But just at the end of the day, you need to just kind of acknowledge what you did, how you contributed to your organization and then to your community, and kind of think back. You just need one win for the day. If you have more than that, then that's amazing. But, we're all, individuals working hard, and we can't beat ourselves up for, something that happened bad, but let's just always kind of think of the positive.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would say also making sure that you have those goals as stated, but also making sure that you just, as I stated earlier on, is build your base. Like your base is so important. You can have the best marketing brain, best flyers, this, that, and other, but um, if you don't have relationships with people, they're going to look at your flyer and they're going to keep on. And so it's so important that you have really personal relationships with individuals, business owners, entrepreneurs, whoever it may be, to make sure that you're getting the best results from your fundraising efforts. And so I always tell people that if you want people to support you, you have to support them. And so that's my message to anyone that's looking to really beef up their fundraising, that you have to go out, to different events, show your face, wear your t-shirts, let them know who you are and your mission, and build those strong relationships. And you will, I promise you, you'll see the growth in your fundraising.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much, Shanna, for joining me on this and helping me to educate my audience and helping me to educate my listeners. You both have been on my podcast, so thank you for that as well. But thank you for taking this a step further. You both know that education is my foundation, and I am a firm believer that with the right education, people will make better decisions in their life. So thank you so much for this. And thank you to everyone that has watched, that has tuned in. If you have any other questions or any more questions concerning fundraising, you can reach all of us. We're all on social media. So contact us there with your questions or with your comments. But for today, thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.